Peanut Butter Dickhead and company have all jumped on this as well. They're all very confused in how this. We've all been waiting patiently, I think, for Vinnie and crap. Hold on, is this it? Yeah. So this is Peanut Butter Dickhead and Vinnie and all those guys. I got to tell you, when this came out on Sunday, I was like, I cannot wait for the reaction from these assholes who have been, I think, have the worst case of Trump derangement syndrome around this particular issue of anybody, because confronted with all the details, even then, Vinnie is not able to put the Trump Epstein connection, as many pictures and videos and interviews and like how Trump used to talk positively about the dude on and on more than anybody else. Like they'll go after Bill Gates and Bill Clinton, who never talked about him in an interview, never brought him up apropos and nothing, never did participated in like puff pieces in whatever Vanity Fair or whoever it was, the New Yorker, about the guy, wouldn't answer the phone about him. Meanwhile, Trump is in all of this stuff and they just can't get it together. They can't allow those thoughts to bridge, because once they do, it's game over. That's, I think, the issue. Okay, here we go. This is Peanut Butter Dickhead and these guys. This is Trump's biggest fumble. Epstein client list never existed, according to Patel and Bondi bombshell.
The story comes out, ABC News.
Also, by the way, can I just point out that the shell of a bomb is not... bombs are not dropped like projectiles. They don't leave a shell behind. And the shell of it is the least of your worries. It's the contents of the bomb that are explosive. Bombshell report just seems... Maybe bomb report doesn't sound quite as good, but, I almost feel like hand grenade report, like this is a political or, news grenade. But there you go. Oh, well, thank you very much.
DOJ FBI review finds no Jeffrey Epstein client list, confirms suicide. That's the memo that comes out. And Rob, I think you may have a video on this one, not just one. You got a lot of videos that we're going to be going through, folks, on this one here. So to remind folks,
you have been gargling Trump's balls this entire time, and Vinnie has been doing everything he can not to put two and two together, and you're all in a weird panic about this shit, pretending to care about it, while at the same time excusing yourselves for not figuring out the obvious.
As we're going through this, Justice Department and FBI review ordered by President Trump, appointed leadership found no evidence that notorious deceased financier Epstein kept a client list of associates whom he blackmailed or conspired with to victimize dozens of women, stating that investigators did not cover evidence that could predicate an investigation against uncharged third parties. The review released hours of reported footage, perpetrated footage, confirming Epstein died by suicide in Manhattan jail in 2019. The DOJ memo states...
Perpetrated footage? Is that what it said? How is footage perpetrated?
Perpetuating unfounded theories about Epstein serves neither of those ends. Now, Attorney General Pam Bondi faced criticism from Trump supporters for delays in releasing Epstein's case files, which she attributed to tens of thousands of hours. This is one of the videos. Rob, is this one of the original videos when she talked about it?
Yeah, so I have February, March, and April of this year, 3 different instances where...
Oh, yeah. By the way, they are tearing her apart on all these channels.
Pam Bondi talks about the Jeffrey Epstein client list. This is from February.
Go for it. So this is the first one.
Maybe releasing the list of Jeffrey Epstein's clients? Will that really happen?
It's sitting on my desk right now to review. That's been a directive by President Trump. I'm reviewing that. I'm reviewing JFK files, MLK files. That's all in the process of being reviewed because that was done at the directive of the president from all of these agencies.
So that's the first one.
So have you seen anything?
That's the first one. Then it goes to the next one. Go for it, Rob.
And the FBI handed over a couple hundred pages of documents. But, Sean, I gave them a deadline of Friday at 8 a.m. to get us everything. And a source had told me where the documents were being kept, Southern District of New York, shock. So we got them all by, hopefully all of them, Friday at 8 a.m., thousands of pages of documents. I have the FBI going through them, and Cash is also, now that we have Cash here, it's a game changer, of course.
Oh, yeah, he's totally nailing this. This is so good. Guys, you have to understand, like, the wilting and the raging that these assholes are vacillating between is glorious. This, like, despair about being bullshitted and this rage that there was something else, looking for someone else to blame besides Trump and the people he hired and he put in these positions. By the way, if Matt Gaetz had gotten this job, he'd be saying the exact same thing right now.
Of course. And
Oh, by the way, if he did it, everybody, I think, especially on our side, would be going, of course he's helping. He's he commits similar crimes himself, allegedly. So why wouldn't he run interference for Trump? But her, I don't know why they're like, it must be the woman.
Cash is going to, Director Patel is going to get us a detailed report as to why.
So pause this. So far we know. Now go to the next one, Rob. And this is after O'Keefe Media Group found
the
a
restaurant,
video.
The restaurant, right?
Yeah, the restaurant. So after O'Keefe Media Group found the video, and Pam Bondi, this is what she had to say. Go for it.
Yeah, the FBI, they're reviewing, there are tens of thousands of videos of Epstein with children or child porn. And there are hundreds of victims. And no one victim will ever get released. It's just the volume, and that's what they're going through right now. The FBI is diligently going through that. I haven't seen that statement, but I'll call them.
You can pause that here. And then this is what, Rob? This is
Alina Haba. This is her with Piers Morgan back in February, where she talks about the Jeffrey Epstein client list and the names being revealed.
Go for it.
But in this case, in Epstein's case, it is incredibly disturbing. We have flight logs, we have information, names that will come out.
Is it going to be shocking?
I don't see how it's not shocking.
Yes, it will be shocking how little they let out to anybody who doesn't realize that Epstein and Trump are friends.
That there were so many individuals that were hidden and
still are. It's funny.
Kept secret and not been held accountable. Let's talk about the reverse. I believe in accountability. So you have to now go through your process. Now,
it's weird that they're not attacking Alina Haba for saying this stuff, just Pam Bondi.
Now, I won't say they're guilty until they go through their time in court. But again, now it's time for accountability. We have seen for so many years, Pierce, in this country, many investigations, subpoenas, testimonies in Congress, et cetera, et cetera. But there's a general frustration with accountability. We take it halfway. We don't take it home. And I really believe that now with Cash and Pam, there will be accountability.
All right.
No.
So you can pause it. Now, we got a lot of other clips, okay? Rob, if you can go to the one clip about the...
Can we just go to Vinnie and please, can we just fast forward to Vinnie's flip out? And I forget what the guy in the green shirt's name is, but the dude on the far left of your screen who's going to do everything he can to clean up, right? I trust these guys. They're amazing, right? How's it got to feel to know that you do this for a living? Every day you get on and go, I trust these guys. They're amazing. That finally we're going to get the truth because these guys are the real deal. And then to just get your dick slammed in a car door like this is great.
The video released of the cell, okay? So they dropped the video footage of the cell, okay? Assuming this is the cell, but it doesn't match the one from CBS. So what's the key factor here, Rob? Because it skips a minute, right? Isn't there a clip where it skips a minute and we don't see a minute of, okay, so this is the one that, tell us, Rob, this is one from CBS.
Yeah, so 60 Minutes did an in-depth expose into Jeffrey Epstein's alleged suicide. This was from the footage that they filmed at the prison that Jeffrey Epstein was being held at. They claim, CBS 60 Minutes claims this is the cell that Jeffrey Epstein killed himself in. But if you take a look at the CCTV footage that was released yesterday, you can tell the doors are different.
No, this is...
Yeah, those aren't the doors. The door that they pointed to is downstairs and around the corner.
It's not even the same. Doors are different. The glass is different. The color is different.
Those aren't the doors, dummy. Nobody says those are the Epstein doors. Like, they don't walk him in there. You don't see him going into those doors. This is the cameras are it's a whole other room down there. This is an upstairs area. This is a separate God damn, they're just trying either. Well, I was about to say they're trying so hard to cover for this and make it look like it was just a mistake, or CBS misled people. Maybe that's where they're going, without just realizing, like, you'd have to be stupid to think this is the same. They show him walking by down there.
The wall is not flat. The other one is flat. Press play on this one, Rob.
And then you'll see right down here, Pat, where the timing is.
Yeah.
11:58. It counts all the way up to 11:59 and skips 11:59 to midnight. Keep a look at the left corner right there.
So minutes. So let's assume it was it. It skips a minute. Doesn't match the one from CBS. There's just so many contradictions. Maybe the biggest fumble. It's not maybe. It is the biggest fumble of the administration's.
I don't know. I think the tariff stuff is shit as well. And I don't think this is a fumble. I think they are trying their best to try to obfuscate and like baffle people with bullshit.
One of the items that they were trying to attack and address so far in the first,
we don't care. Cut to Vinnie. I want to see Vinnie's meltdown.
6 months of being in office, 5.5 months of being in office. Vinnie, your thoughts on this entire matter?
Go, Vinnie. Go, Vinnie. Go, Vinnie. It's your forehead vein. It's your forehead vein. Go, Vinnie. Go, Vinnie. Burst a blood vessel. Burst a blood vessel. I'm going to be so disappointed if he doesn't just do a full-on Kramer and go just fall out of frame.
Matter here.
There is a guy, I'm pretty sure time you guys are going to know, George Orwell. Was that his name?
Yes.
George Orwell, who said, the party told you to reject the evidence of your eyes and ears. It was their final, most essential command, which basically means when the totalitarian regime wants full control.
Yes, that would be the Trump administration in this particular analogy. I'm with you. This is not something that Democrats did. This is something that Donald Trump handpicked the people in his cabinet positions because of previous issues about loyalty that he had in the DOJ. He was picking, basically foot soldiers. So anyways, you were saying something about a totalitarian regime specific to this. All right, here we go.
It doesn't just lie. It forces you to deny what you see and hear with your own senses, okay?
Yes, that's right. Yes. And they use a mind virus basically to do it, which is your, this abject loyalty and fear of punishment by those around you, that keep you socially in line either and will tell on you, kind of in Mao Zedong's time, for example. And so, or in, Stalinist Russia. And there's something very similar with maggotdom, dipshit.
Okay, this is one of the biggest, not only slaps in the face. I mean, I knew we were never gonna see anything like the guy.
No, you didn't. Shut the fuck up. You were saying because Patel and Bongholio were in there and Pam Bondi, you were saying specifically these would be the people who would finally show the truth. Shut up. Do not say you never thought it was going to happen. You specifically thought it was going to happen because of the people that Donald Trump put in charge. Now, none of us can figure out why. All of us think you're a fucking lunatic for believing this, but absolutely this asshole thought he was going to see all this stuff.
Guy suicided himself in jail.
Suicide has. Yeah, often people will suicide himself.
Promised all this stuff. Everybody's lying. Okay, Cash Patel, and we talked about this earlier, Pat. I want to know, when they came in with all these promises, who is the main guy? Who is the top person? It's not Trump.
How in the fuck do you think it's not Trump, stupid?
Hey, when people are like, oh, Trump was with girls. No, I don't want to hear none of that shit. Trump was never with little
Well, clearly you don't want to hear that.
kids. The left would have jumped on his ass earlier. Who?
First of all, no one had claimed it was. We claimed he sexually assaulted women of age, adult women. Stupid. There was not a question that the fact that he was with underage girls wasn't even. It was so well known he was would sexually victimize women who are of age. That should have been enough.
Who is the main blackmailed person that's holding this from coming out? Who? Trump.
Trump. Trump. I mean, like, why else? who was best friends with Jeffrey Epstein for a quarter century, dum-dum.
Who is the top? Who's the main person? Okay, because we all know. You saw it from Alina Haba. You saw him from Pam Bondi. He had cameras, and they had terabytes of information. That's billions of dollars of evidence on all these people, Pat. And Alex Acosta, do you remember this guy, Robbie? He was the
Yeah, who hired him to be labor secretary?
DOJ official. He gave Jeffrey
Why was he a DOJ?
Epstein the sweetheart deal in 2008. He was quoted by saying he was told to, and I quote, to back off of Epstein because he belonged to intelligence. And then mysteriously, he had 11 months of DOJ emails to him that in that time period that mysteriously disappeared. Then you have Maria Farmer, who worked for Epstein, who confirmed every pinhole, every area in there was recorded, and they know it. So somebody has that. And here's my thing, Pat. Stop gaslighting us.
Hey, stupid. Nobody's gaslighting you. Nobody's gaslighting. You are an amazing case, Vinny, of someone who self-gaslights. I have never seen, I mean, this is the kind of stuff you only see in like the Warren Jeffries cult or Jonestown, you absolute twig-headed fuck. Nobody has to gaslight you. You line up to be gaslit. How in the shit do you not put this together?
Stop bullshitting because we all know what the deal is, okay?
Yeah, okay, so what's the deal? If you know what the deal is, what is it?
We all know. And apparently, if you're a pedophile, your job should be to get as powerful and as rich and get into politics because rich
Yes, you voted for him. Dummy.
pedophiles, you walk away and you dodge the raindrops. Nothing happens to you. You're untouchable. If you're poor, guess what? If you're a poor pedophile and you're broke, you wind up in a freaking kitchen with Chris Hansen and they go, oh, sit down, and then they show you your text. It's this.
Finally, thank you, Vinny. Finally, someone comes out on Peanut Butter Dickheads podcast in defense of economically disadvantaged pedophiles. Congratulations, you're a real hero, Vinny. This is the Marxist pedophile argument. It's not about whether you're a pedophile or not. It's a class struggle. Jesus Christ. The fuck?
It's disgusting. I think Pam Bondi and all these people, they have lied to us. She should actually resign, Pat. If that at that level, if you're bullshitting us and you're lying like that, resign. Dan Bongino, people are like, well, what do you want them to do? Is the whole system going to come down? Dan Bongino and all these people, if you're a real Christian, if you're a real person like that, Pat, I would come out and say the freaking truth and resign and leave and just tell the truth. The truth has to come out. And then,
but they can't. Why? But they can't because they're worried that maggots will kill them because they'll tell the truth about Trump, or Trump will have them killed because apparently he's under the impression that he could kill someone and get away with it, and that if you're an enemy of the state, he can deport you even if you're a U.S. citizen. What if you just go on a foreign trip and your plane goes down, like a helicopter coming back from Florida to Atlantic City, or from Atlantic City to New York, I think it was.
And then notice how random it is. All this stuff's coming out. And then Virginia Giuffre, 2 months ago, she gets hit by a car, no police report, no nothing. And then she even says, she's like, I'm going to die in the next couple of days. And then she dies. And it's always this suicide stuff. It's just, I'm fed up with the BS. We all know what is going on. But
do you? You do know that Jeffrey Epstein allegedly committed suicide when Donald Trump's FBI arrested him and put him in jail, and he died while Donald Trump was president of the United States, and Virginia Giuffre died while Donald Trump was president of the United States, that the evidence that they got from St. James Island and from his house was gathered while Donald Trump was president of the United States, and it has gone missing permanently, and they said nothing to see here while Donald Trump is president of the United States again, and that you're not able to put that together at all.
But we can't prove it. And now what's going to happen? The American people, in a week, we're going to forget about this. In 1 week, you're going to forget about them lying their asses off to us, and it's ridiculous.
By the way, they didn't lie to me, dummy, because I don't trust them. So why would I even give a shit? They lied to you, and you are gobbling it up like butt pudding, you weirdo.
pisses me off.
Adam, thoughts?
I knew.
Now, Adam's the one who has to defend Trump and the administration and go, I love Bongholio and Kash Patel are good, decent fellows. Therefore, it's probably this woman person.
Vinny was going to be fired up about this. So Jeffrey Epstein, at this point, I'm not even sure what's real and what's a rumor at this point.
Jesus Christ. I mean, I guess this is the best you can do. By the way, Peter, oh my God, thank you so much for the sticker. And thank you, Some Watery Tot, and Sandy and Baby Girl for the super chats. That's amazing. Thank you guys for noticing it. It came up in the chat while I was looking over at the video and I saw it go by. So thank you so much.
Point. You know, people like Vinny, and I mean this sincerely, wake up every day and they're like, where's the Epstein files? Where are we at? That's not me.
No, you wake up every morning going, okay, how do I distract Vinny from caring about the Epstein files long enough to make him notice, I don't know, maybe I can distract him with how full of shit Trump is about tariffs.
This is into my top 3 things. But at this point with Epstein, we are not even sure what's real, what's rumor, what's myth, what's mystery. He's part monster. He's part complete mystery. We're not even sure what's happening.
What do you think?
So,
yeah, we are sure. I mean, his girlfriend / madam is in jail for 20 years for trafficking underage girls to him and his buddies. We know that happened. We know that he apparently, if he killed himself, it was because he was facing charges that would have cost him the rest of his time on Earth. So he either left on purpose or found a way out, or ended up being killed because they were worried that he would try to, shave some time off by giving up information on other people. If what Pam Bondi is saying is true, that there's really no there, he was never going to be found guilty anyway, so he killed himself for nothing?
So,
what do you think he is?
Here's what I think. So let me just go down some facts here. So we arrested the guy that had the ownership of the island, the sex island. We arrested the lady that was allegedly bringing women to the island, to the sex island. But we haven't arrested or held anybody accountable for who was on the island. So there's a missing ingredient here. So what's the missing ingredient? It's, as I always say, follow the money. Who were these people? I would suspect are the richest, most powerful people in the world. So here it is. Who do you want to please? Who do you want to upset? You have the elites, and then you have what I would call the angry mob. The elites are whispering, yo, bro, if you're talking to this, I'm telling you right now, the mob are yelling, bro, I want to see the blah, blah, blah. You're going to upset somebody. So in my estimation, whether it's Pam Bondi, whether it's Trump and...
Wait. First of all, if your assumption is that all elites are engaged in this kind of stuff, then I don't know why you're not just for tearing down every tower in the world, including Trump's. But, as Vinny was pointing out, there are pedophiles amongst the mob, and the mob wants those people removed. Are there not, in theory, elitists who are like, well, I'm an elitist, but I have daughters, for example, and it bothers me that dude is around. Anyway, screw it. It's a class thing.
Trump himself, whether it's Bonino, whether it's Kash, they're saying the following. We're going to upset somebody here. If this thing comes out, we're going to have the...
So your argument is it's better if they upset poor people. That's your... So they made a calculation. Wow. So they're making a calculation. Kash Patel and Bongholio are making a calculation that it is better to piss off poor loudmouths like Vinny than rich people who are allegedly amongst the people that service themselves on the island.
Have the richest, most powerful people in the world who we need, whether it's Bill Gates, whether it's Leon Black, whoever it is, we need them on our team because they know all the dirty secrets out there.
What? What? Huh? Also, why is Trump not included in this list? Jesus.
You can't upset these guys. At the same time...
Why not? You guys have been shitting on Bill Gates like fucking crazy. Everybody thinks he's part of like Alex Jones and that crowd are like, they think he's part of a plot to depop the entire goddamn country or the world. Like, you guys have been tiptoeing. Like, Dan Bongholio and fucking Kash Patel have been, like, shy about shitting on Bill Gates. You fucking nuts?
We're going to upset some angry, loud, mob-type voices who are not going to let this go. So there's these two
like Vinnie is what he means.
competing voices. Who do you want to upset? Who do you want to please? Do you want to please the elites, or do you want to
Right. So Kash Patel and Bongholio have decided, fuck Vinnie. Sure.
please the mob? And at this point, they're just siding with the elites.
Tom.
So
That's, by the way, that's some of the stupidest shit I have ever heard in my life. That's the argument? How in the fuck? What? Adam's entire pitch is that Kash Patel and Bongholio are lying, but because they don't have a choice. You have to lie in this situation. But they would rather lie in a way that doesn't upset the rich and powerful, because we need them, because they have blackmail on Trump, I guess. They have all the information that we need, or whatever that information is. So Bill Gates is the one blackmailing Trump into not doing this. I love that. Let's go with that. Run with that. Okay, so Donald Trump is doing the bidding of Bill Gates. So if he's attacking Elon Musk, it's so that Bill Gates can get, so that there can be co-pilot-driven robots in everything instead of the Tesla bot or some shit.
I'm disappointed. I'm also disgusted. Do we know for sure?
With yourself? No, I'm sorry. I was being silly. I thought for a second that maybe they would, they'd have a moment where they're like, I'm disgusted with myself for being such a sucker. No, sorry, that's me being silly.
If he was Mossad or MI6 or as truly an intelligence asset. We had a lot of people who seem believable to say, look, this guy was intelligence. That's why I couldn't prosecute him way back when. And he got the little hand slap deal, and then it went away.
Or maybe that's what you bought from Alex Acosta, because Donald Trump wanted him to be his labor secretary, because he did give him a sweetheart deal and they worked it out together, that it wasn't because he was part of Mossad or whatever. That was one of his ways of excusing himself. Could be the thing, perhaps. The thing you see. By the way, my iPad looks like it's going to die in a minute, which is being my second monitor, and I don't know why it wouldn't be charging in this particular instance. It should be, in theory. It's plugged in. Derp. So if it dies, I'll have to end the show early, but apologies. I'll pick it up regular time tomorrow.
And that's, to me, that's kind of disgusting. I don't know for sure what happened. I don't know for sure where he is, but I know for sure one thing. You just put all of the facts as we see them. Just Pam Bondi says this in a restaurant, says this to a camera, now says this. Kash Patel says this, and Dan Bongino says this. Kash Patel and Dan Bongino do an interview, and they look like this. I can see all those facts and go, this is fishy. This is terrible. This is horrible.
But you can't put Trump with Epstein, can you? You shrimp-brained fuck. That's the problem you guys all have. You can look at all this stuff and all the, everybody's on the grassy knoll except your dude.
And I'm disgusted, and I'm really disgusted. History has allowed us to go back and look at the Warren Commission for what it was. The Warren Commission was...
Remember what I told you about the JFK files, as attached as they get to this shit? Can you imagine 10 hours of that footage that they're going to, wait till somebody finds a shadow on the floor with no corresponding person crossing, then it's all over.
Was a sham to produce a document about the Kennedy assassination. Supreme Court Justice Earl Warren chaired it, invited Alan Dulles to it, who was tight with LBJ, and now we know because certain documents have been leaked that the CIA was with Oswald, helped Oswald in Russia, and we now see a few of these things to the...
No, they weren't, and no, they didn't. They said they were tracking him. They had contact with him because they were tracking certain people. which means that they had a lot of people to keep an eye on, and he was one of them, and they were right to keep an eye on him, and then he ended up shooting the president. Like, again, this idea that contact, means that they were guided. They could put all this together, like, obviously, because this guy saw him, met him, or followed him around, that meant that they were in cahoots. They can put that together with no evidence. But the ability to, like, there's tons of footage of Trump and Epstein together with Trump with his kids present, shit like that, and they can't do it.
To the point that if you go to the National Historic Place at the sixth floor of the Book Depository in Dallas, you put on headphones, and the U.S. government, who runs the tour, tells you are about to hear multiple shooters and gunshots. So now they're not even on one shooter, Oswald. History has taken it down, and then LBJ set up. It's just so funny. And then Alan Dulles, Gerald Ford was on the Warren Commission, and they produce a document with a magic bullet. And we look back now and we say that there's no way that happened. It was just a complete sham. And I feel like, is history repeating itself?
I guess you are lining up to make sure it does.
Say, okay, well, we've looked at everything, and never mind what we said publicly, never mind what you saw people do, never mind statements that have actually been made. You know what? There was nothing there. Nobody was intimidated, and there was no client list. Are you kidding me? We got flight logs, and now you're looking America in the face, and you're saying...
Yes, flight logs where Donald Trump said he was never on the plane, and he was on, they found he was on 3 times, and then they found out he was on 7 times, and a lot of them are also mismarked, and they also never show Trump's flight logs, where we know of at least one time where Epstein flew with Ghislaine Maxwell and an unnamed underage girl on Trump's plane. Where's the flight logs for that, dummy? How about that? What's that number? Maybe Trump was saying, I never flew with him because Epstein flew with Trump so many times. Maybe he's in Trump's flight logs 100 times.
Saying this.
Yeah, so Judge Joe Brown was on Alex Jones, okay? And you know who Judge Joe Brown is. We have him on the podcast.
He was
before.
He's right here. He's signed here.
He was incredible.
And he said, Rob, I know it's a 3-minute clip. Can you get to the point of when you find it? But here's what he says. He says the president is using all the information he has to hold the establishment accountable and, what's the word? Not held hostage. What's the word?
Leverage them the other way.
Leverage them the other way. This is his way of arresting and holding the establishment accountable. Now, to people who are in that game, there's a clip that Tate posted yesterday where he says, this is above your pay grade. You're not somebody that's going to know what's going on. I don't know when he gets into it, when he talks about what's going on here. If you don't know about it, you don't know about it. These are
like Andrew or like Tate
deals that are being done at the higher level. And he said this on the podcast when he was here with us. Rob, is this it?
Yes.
Go for it.
Talk about the Epstein list. I would argue it's a very similar scenario. It's all about money. It's all about who has the money and controlling the money. Is America as a country prepared to upset all of its richest people? I don't know. Is it? Is it prepared to upset all of its richest people to appease bloodthirsty brokies who don't even care about justice? They just want the drama.
Yep.
He means Vinnie. Also, by the way, all the rich people, all of them, all the rich people engage in all of them. Trump being one of them, I suppose, who, again, was best friends with Jeffrey Epstein. He's uniquely in a situation to have access to this stuff. Was he part of this blackmail thing? Are we going to find out that Trump got The Apprentice, and not because they were like, we need some goofy orange-skinned fuck to host this ridiculous show so that people can debase themselves pretending to get business advice from a guy who went bankrupt 6 times? No, the reason we have to do it is because he's got tape of Mark Burnett with a child. Is that...
Another question, because I would argue that the murders that happen every day on the street are very interesting, but no one cares about that. MS-13 and all this shit, no one really cares about that. But this Epstein list they really care about. They want justice, sure, but it's a drama. It's interesting. They want to find out. They're curious. And I'm asking you as a professional.
What the fuck are you talking about? People watch true crime shit all the time because they're interested in it and because they're the drama. It's not particular to this. What was specifically interesting about this dude was he had an island where he took these girls and they were trafficking these girls and there were rich and powerful men around him, including Donald Trump. That's why the interest is there, because it seems like a bunch of people are getting away with crimes, that there are people walking around who are pedophiles who are getting away with it. And that's fucking scary.
You're in charge of a country. Your primary objective is to keep your oligarchy happy, to keep the wealth inside of your nation, and to make them obey you when it comes to sanctions and such other.
I see. So Tate thinks that the reason Trump isn't letting this stuff out because he's afraid of the wealth flight.
Things, and to ensure that the U.S. dollar becomes and stays the predominant currency globally. There's a bunch of bloodthirsty brokies on the internet who barely pay taxes who want to go through a list. Who are you going to prioritize? Who do you care about?
I would guess your friends and yourself in the case of Trump. Yourself. How about this? How about just flat out self-interest, dipshit?
I'm not saying it's fair.
I got a question.
But anyone who believes...
Pause. I got a question for you as you're going through this. I wrote out a tweet, Rob, if you can go to my tweet. Do you have the clip on what he says? Is that the main part or no?
I'm still looking for it.
Okay. Look, maybe
I don't know what the fuck he's going through his shit, and then he finds...
You'll see. What the 80 to 150 a year? I have a fairness thing right now. Paul, which one of those characters that are having a hard time keeping... That they know what happened, whose names are on that list, okay? Who is certain what they did to kids? Who is certain the videos and all that stuff that's out there? Who is conflicted the most and is having a hard time keeping their mouth shut right now, deep down inside when they go to sleep?
Okay, great question, by the way. I think the most conflicted is going to be Dan Bongino. I don't
Get the fuck out of here.
I don't think he knows everything. You know who knows everything?
Who?
Pam Bondi.
Cash Patel.
She is the number.
No. Cash Patel. He has primacy on the evidence. If the FBI and SDNY had that stuff, then it goes through Cash Patel to get to her. If it's been filtered before it got to her, Cash Patel is the one who did the filtering. She can ask for everything, but he's the one responsible for giving it to her, getting it, transporting it, make sure, because it's his organization, the FBI.
Number one law enforcement officer. She was in Florida, Pat, on the cleanup of this whole Epstein thing. She knows.
So you didn't have a problem when Trump suggested she be a part of this, that she had the DOJ? That wasn't a red flag for you? Same thing with like Acosta, who gave him the deal, becoming labor secretary, is like Trump was basically rewarding everybody who gave Epstein a pass.
Where the bodies are buried, so to speak. But I don't think she's conflicted because she's been involved the whole time. I think Dan Bongino.
Well, then if Trump put her in that position, then so did he. What the fuck? What the fuck? Like how can you not? I mean, do you realize? I mean, we may be seeing something that is rarer in the wild than a live dodo bird, which is somebody who can, like, this is like the only sighting ever of the red foreheaded, wobble necked, self bullshitting fuck bird. Like this dude, I have never seen anybody be able to sucker themselves live at such a rate.
You know what I mean? They asked him, I don't know who offered him the job and came in. He's seen enough, Pat, where he's like, holy shit. He's a Secret Service agent. He loves America. He's a Christian. I think he is having the most. I could see it in his face. When you see Dan Bongino in the interviews now, he looks as if somebody has taken something from him. Like a.
I think I think you're mistaking. I think they've expected something of him that he's incapable of doing. He got a job he is unprepared for. And so he's in constant panic no matter what the job is. Because he's a fuck up too. He's a fuck up hired by fuck ups to fuck things up on purpose so they can have an excuse to get rid of those things. Make the FBI useless so that they can excuse getting rid of it. Meanwhile, grow ICE like fucking crazy, but get rid of the FBI. Gee, which one do you think Trump is more worried about? Hold on.
A part of his soul is gone. Like, I think they pulled open the current and saw it and they said, shh, you can't say anything. I think it's him the most conflicted. I don't think it's Cash. I think Cash is good in front of the camera and likes to talk a big game. I think Pam.
What do you mean good in front of the camera? You mean he's a better liar and he's not a Christian?
knows everything. I think Dan Bongino has seen enough to make him go, holy shit, but he's gotten the kibosh. And that's where it conflicts with me, Pat, because my thing, and you know me, as a
Oops, sorry, hold on. I don't know why that iPad would die right now. Hold on. Let me see if I can do this real quick. Preview mode. There we go. I need to get an HDMI cable just use the other monitor. So it makes me so grumpy. Hold on one second. Back to live mode. Let's see if it woke back up. It's trying to charge. Maybe it was just using too much of it. Maybe that's it. Maybe I'm just drawing too much power on this guy, so it's not allowing it. Hold on. Let's see. There's got to be a cable around here somewhere. Nope. All right, I'm gonna have to buy one when I go out. Dope. All right, so I'm gonna bow out about 20 minutes early. I appreciate you guys being here. Thank you guys so much for the support. I'll be on at the regular time for the morning show tomorrow. Afternoon show might be at the same time or not. Might move around depending on dinner for everybody. Like I said, I'm here with family, and we have, let me just say, health concerns to operate around. As a matter of fact, my dad has to do dialysis in this room tomorrow, so hopefully it won't. He can do it early enough and be done before the show. But if that's the case of it, I will let everybody know. But I appreciate you guys jumping on here with me, and I'm sorry about the rotation in time, but I may also pick this up later on if I can get this thing to charge up, or if I can stop by and get an HDMI cable for this side monitor over here that I can use. I think that's what I'll have to do. Yeah, that's probably best, so I can do my shows regular. Otherwise, my iPad will just keep dying while I'm trying to do the show, using it as a second monitor for this. So thank you guys so much. Take care of yourselves and take care of somebody else, and I will see you either later on or tomorrow at the regular time. Much love. I mean, this is, by the way, this thing is not going to go away. This part of it, not going to go away. This is going to drive them all crazy, and it's going to get worse and worse and worse. Enjoy.